Hello everyone and welcome back to the Keep Productive YouTube channel. It is Francesco here. It feels like an absolute age that I haven't done a Notion tour, and I will explain why, because I have just been iterating it in the sort of process and learning from all of the great sort of Notioneers out there, building my own system. And now after 6 months, I sort of feel comfortable with sharing that and taking you through my account. So in this video today, I'm going to be diving into all of how I use Notion. Some of the stuff I'll blur out, but I'll go into every page to give you a bit of an idea of how I use it and the sort of main reasons behind it, best I can. Hopefully this can help you navigate your own Notion account. Now, before we dive in, if you haven't checked out the Notion Made Simple course, you can check it out below. It is a course with 8 modules, 9 now actually, that we obviously have produced, and it will go through absolutely everything from beginner to advanced. So if you're new to Notion, you can check that one out below. And just a bonus thing for that, we will be upgrading it very, very soon. In August time, it's going to get a big spring clean, and obviously we update it monthly, so you're obviously paying one-off cost for something that just continues to grow. So obviously marketing message done. Let's dive into the Notion tour. So guys, this is the best place to start, is the homepage. Let's start with the sort of theme I've gone with. You may be seeing that I've paid more attention to the details in this latest update. I've added this lovely cover photo. I believe it's Kyoto in Japan. I've sort of themed this around sort of a Japanese theme. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I'm learning a little bit Japanese on the side at the moment. So I've got a lovely icon here. And as you can see, all of the sort of the headings are all red text. That's really easy to do. You can go into color and then go to red text color there. And I sort of took it away and I changed it from the other color background, and actually looks great. If you want my opinion, I actually am the happiest and probably won't be changing this for several months. So obviously you guys know that, well, those who have watched the previous one know that I used to have a gallery view, database view at the top that had sort of like shortcuts to my favorite pages. Well, this has been changed to the targets area. And the targets area is very simply a way for me to view my goals for the month and for the year. I was trialing it in sort of like April, May time with weekly priorities, but I found this to be a bit sort of messy. So what I would do is I'd create a new board here, a new card here. I'd go into the card and I'd press the priorities database template. I will show you how to do that in a second. So I would press this one and core objectives would appear here. I would type in the week, and then I would get typing away on what things I need to get done for that week. Now this actually worked out quite well. As you can see, this is one that I did. Obviously you can see it's sort of a very simplistic addition, sort of 3 or 4 things I want to get done. And then I drag it once it's done into the completed area. Now, what I would say is this worked for me, but I worked out, and I always know from myself is that I work on sort of a month goal. So I've been doing it with June 2019. Obviously, you can see the goals for the month. I've got a nice target. I've got core objectives up here. These are actually it's 6 things that I want to target for the month. And metrics down here. These are like key performance metrics that I want to see at least in the website and also on YouTube. So that's one of the big things I've been doing, and also have a goals for the end of 2019 of what I'd like to hit with work. And obviously you're probably wondering, why aren't you storing this on the Keep Productive area? I guess this is more personal to myself. So that's the main reason I'm storing it here. So the targets board template is really easy to use. If you are looking to do what I mentioned about the priorities area, all you have to do is go to this sort of new tab in the top right hand corner. It will appear there. And you can see here that there's a priorities template. If you want to create a new one, just go to new template. But all I have to do to edit this one here is just go and into this one and edit. And you can choose which status it automatically connects to and what you want it to automatically say. So I still use this one for the monthly objectives when I create a new one. And at the end of June, I'll probably drag this one to completed and get rid of these 2. But I'm not too worried at the moment. It's not messing up my system too much. And I might remove this column as well, because it's fairly unnecessary right now. But this is just a real sort of taster of what it looks like. It's still a work in progress. And you're probably wondering how this differs from like TODOIST. So on my TODOIST account, if I've got it here, I actually just plan like sort of like a overview. I have to clear up, obviously tomorrow, a bit messy. I have to clear up all of the sort of, these are more actionable tasks, and I find it useful at the start of a week to go, okay, what are my goals for June? What can I be doing next week? Then basically plot them inside of Todoist. So I think of Todoist as more of like my runway of actionable tasks, whereas Notion is more of my planner, like my holistic view, my 50,000 feet view, which is a concept referenced in GTD, I believe. I think it's GTD. If I got that wrong, that's pretty awful. So I have two main sections now. I've cleaned this up a lot, and I'll explain where it's not clean and where I will dive into where you should, the bad practice that I'm doing. So over here is daily. So these are ones that I'm using pretty daily, like routine-wise. And planners, again, come in when I'm doing something very objective, like, for example, location-based, like, okay, I'm going to be working on the house, or I'm going to be doing a workout, or I'm going to be doing travel. Now over here, my daily ones are, to start with, a to-read area. And this is really just a very simple gallery database that you can see all of the articles that I pinned through the web. Now this is really easy using the web clipper, and I've kept it in this gallery view mainly because I like to see a sort of visual outline, and I like how it clips the pictures. Now what I am going to probably do is change the card size from like the small to medium, because it just makes it look even better. And as you can see, obviously, if you have page content on it, will select that one there. What I've done as well is I've set up a filter inside of here so that anything that I tick off that I've read will be removed. So as you can see, ticked items will no longer there. So for example, let's see, Chernobyl welcomes the tourists article that I probably want to read. Obviously it captures when it was created, the URL, and obviously the articles below there. Something I noticed is sometimes it brings in like double the photo, but I think that's just going to air out as time goes on. So as you can see, I can hit red once I've done it, but I actually have this rating system as well, and I've only used it a couple of times, but it's actually been a good way if in later on I want to see, for example, if I go out of this, if I go to filter and go to ticked, so you can see the ones I've done, and maybe I want to go ones that have a rating containing 3-star. Okay, I can see the good ones, the 3-star rating articles that I can maybe send on or will become useful in the future. So I probably could improve that experience, but at the moment this is my reading tool, and I like to read it on on mobile too in the mornings. I tend to get up and just maybe 30 minutes on my morning, grab the phone and sort of get started. Okay, so let's go down to the second area I had, the values and rules. Let's not scroll too fast. So we can see values and rules. This is something I showed you guys a while ago. You can see like sort of goals that I'm trying to set, like, boxing 3 times a week, aim to sleep 8 hours, things that I can come in and sort of reiterate to myself, cheesy sort of motivational stuff to some extent. I also have this new area called meeting notes, and I probably will retitle this to the notebook or something, not like the film. But as you can see here, I've started using this exclusively sort of like plan upcoming calls. So you can see here inside of here, I've got a database template, of a table view with a few of the meeting notes. For example, like when I wanted to chat with Amir for the podcast, I had all my notes here. And obviously that's one of the benefits to it. You can obviously, view that all there. And I have some upcoming meetings like, okay, these are the things I'm going to ask Martine in a call, and these are from the past. So I probably need to like improve that. I've done this also for conference notes. So for example, the Business of Software conference, like Claire's talk was fantastic. I took some notes that really were helpful, and I can come back and reference them. I'm still working out how I can improve this, because I feel at the moment it's a little bit messy compared to what I've shown you guys on how you can do it. If I click upcoming calls as well, I've shown you that, but as you can see here in the table view, I've got the project it's related to, the company, and the due date. So if I wanted to set a reminder, I can. I'm also looking to do the podcast, so being able to take notes on podcasts like, for Tim Ferriss, but I haven't really gotten around to doing it. That was sort of like an inspiration from the likes of Ali, who takes notes inside of Notion. But again, I really stopped taking notes a fair while ago, so I wouldn't say this is necessarily burning on the top of my to-do list, but I do need to, sort of grow that experience out. I'm not very happy with it at the moment. So you can see here, I've got an area called Everything to Sort, and it's literally like, when I did this sort of big overhaul, I pretty much chunked everything that I wasn't using into areas or ones that had literally finished, like stock trading with Ben, like it was a mini sheet of our sort of like practice stock trading that we were doing over lunch times, driving lesson progress. I finished that, I managed to pass, but I can see sort of outline of my progress over the last couple of months. And even like some of the demo ones that I created for you guys, some like client work and stuff like that I no longer do because I'm full-time on Keep Productive now. So just like putting that all in there, and even like some of the art, not the articles, but the book that I was trying to write about productivity software. But as you can imagine, guys, like this is just a dumping ground. So I wouldn't recommend having this because you don't want it, but this is a place where I know I need to sort, and it's actively on my list to do. But again, that sort of probably will come with the house move when things calm down a bit. The same with the learning journal. I want to add a better experience here. You can see I've got like skills, university, MRR, workshop. Like this again should really be in. Like I'm just going to dump this in Everything to Sort and keep this learning journal free, because I want to have this sort of like log of all of the things I'm learning, so that I can just keep a tally of it. But it might make sense in a moment. So I'm moving soon to a new town, so I'm adding a few of the things that I need to start sorting, like, what my morning routines can be like coffee shops, transport, runs, walks, etc. Stuff like that, health and all that jazz. So I think, in my opinion, it's going to iterate. So I'm going through a bit of a change at the moment, but my Notion's going to iterate based on where I get stuff from. So the big ones I've been using the last couple of months, me and my wife have been using Notion to plan our house. And this has been a big house move. So we here have key dates. Like, what are the key dates? And if we go into each area, we can see what are the key dates? We could basically have had a calendar for this, but we use toggle lists to make it really easy to share with family members. And we also have payments as well. Like I will show you in here, but we actually have a sort of like a timeline of payments that will be coming out. And then like this log of like things that we've shelled out for in the last couple of months. So this has actually been really helpful because we can see, oh my God, we've spent this much. And it's actually been a good way to see what we've got and what we've already bought for the house. So the house planner also has a mortgage page, which outlines the mortgage. It's very boring, but also this sort of like, so if I change the view on this one, the gallery view, you can see I've got the living room, the main bedroom, the office and all that. And I should probably go to properties and switch the fit image off. So as you can see here, the living room, what we needed for it, we've actually recently got those two things. So we can see here, like, what's the theme going to be? What's the wallpaper? A bit of an outline of what the house is going to look like if we work our asses off to make it look like that. And they were just copied in from somewhere else. But it gives us a good idea. So this has been our house planner the last couple of months. And actually it's been one of the best experiences to be able to go in every night and sort of organize what we're doing. And as I said, it has iterated over time based on, like, we've distilled those pages down to 4. So the other area I've got is a workout planner. So my workout planner is pretty slim at the moment. That's mainly because, again, I shouldn't be doing this during the middle of a move, but maybe it's actually a good opportunity to do it so you guys can see the different versions of it. But whenever I have a workout, I will add in the time I took, the workout I achieved, and the success rate. And I haven't been doing this last couple of weeks, but it's actually been a good way to be able to see all of that. And I will be using this when I move to a new gym. I haven't been in the gym. I've been in the gym this week, but I really want to get into the routine of logging things each time I go. I also down here have a health check. Like, a health check's really simple. Like, I just use a machine at the gym to detect what I am and then log it. Then badminton. This is like an outline of all the badminton games that we've been having. And it's quite cool because we can see, I need to probably put a property type of created time. So there we go. Like, when we actually did the badminton, what was the score? Dan has been on a win streak. So it's 146 games to 52. So it's absolutely crazy. He is rocking that. So as you can see down here, I've also got a log of illnesses, just like when I've had a cold last. There we go. Like, October 6th was the last time I felt really ill, like feeling lightheaded. I didn't have any breakfast. And it just sometimes like helps me, because then I can, if like a symptom persists, it's something my wife just recommended to me. I also have workouts down here as well. This is like a menu of workouts that I have, like Q1 challenges. What's my records for the 50 meter sprint, 500 meter sprint? How many seated rows can I do? And this is a good way for me to check in. So this will obviously be pulled in. I might create a relational database when I go to create a new workout planner. So I might go and connect. So for example, every time I add one, I'm going to add a new property type, for example, of relation. And then I'm going to add the legacy workouts from another page, create relation. So I'm doing this while it's done. And then I'm going to be able to add an activity like, workout B was done, and I'll be able to see like what ones I've done. And maybe I'll go to property and add what one was connected to it. So that's going to be added there. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because that would just save me time a bit later. And the archives. These are all the old archives, like old records of what I was aiming for in terms of runs in Cyprus, my checklist for assessment checklist, and also what I did on my last assessment. So that might be useful to add inside of. This is like a cleanup fix for you guys. So maybe let me know if this is helping in any way. So maybe I want to put this in the health check area, actually inside the area. So I can see, okay, it looks like I've gone backwards in the last year. I literally did it within 7 days of last year. That's very weird. So there's my year. I have gone up in weight, up in BMI, and up in body fat. Maybe it was a bad year. But actually, no, I think I did pretty well this year. But that's awful. So I can also go out of this. So I've got two core areas again in planners. That's travel. So travel's been really helpful. I haven't really been building on it. And the main reason is so that I can build a database template for this. Because now that database templates are available, I can then just like create areas for like planning. Like I would like to, for example, like I was planning San Francisco. I wanted to see like what the times were and maybe what the prices were for stuff and things to do in terms of footage that I need to capture. So I'm aiming to actually create a database out of this. It would take a bit of time, but bloody plane's going over now. But I'm actually just aiming to refresh this one. It's actually been pretty good in terms of like being able to like see like Crediton, Airbnb we're staying at, like what we're planning to do. So it's actually been a light way to just easily plan a next event. So the finance projector, this has probably been one of the biggest useful things inside of Notion, is I have this gallery database view which has 2 months in advance. I have June and July in this case. I have, if I click in, I've got a goal, which is a theme of save and moving, and I have goals. So I literally have all of the accounts I have, like just current accounts and savings accounts and blah, 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 and how much I am aiming to save inside of them. And the targets for the end of the month. So I can come in and I can go, okay, I've saved this much, we've hit this target. And then at the bottom, I've got like, for example, find the best credit card to use, find out my credit score as 2 targets I need to do, because apparently I'm nowhere near having a credit score. And the same with July, like I just try and project July based on June and give myself a bit of a target to aim for. I have a couple of pages in here. Now, the our 5-year planner we haven't done yet, but this is basically a template of, I'm going to sit down with Becca and we're going to see our current savings, our life events, our spending loves, our worst case scenarios, and our 5-year goal, and a database of things that are coming up. So if I click in here, I can see this database of like, okay, you know, how much is going to cost me for this upcoming stuff, and etc. So this is quite a nice way. What account's it coming from? When's the pay date for it? But if I go back to the financial projector, I can go down here. I can see retirement plans, which is empty at the moment because I'm still planning that. Upcoming expenses, which I literally just showed you. Car repayment plans, taxation, like I have per year tax, and you can see like 2019 tax. And I literally just have a database a database. I want to keep saying database template. Literally a sheet, a table that's full of the dates that I've paid the tax and what I've got in credit and what I've got in goals. So these are actually like formula. So they're formula property types that use the credit and it minuses a figure, and then estimations of the target at the end and the bottom. So I've also got tax assist questions, like questions that I need to ask my accountant, and also my wallet at the bottom, which literally just like numbers of Costa cards, nothing, something that I couldn't be hacked for. Like, unless you want my Costa coffee points, then, that sort of stuff, something that I'm not going to be too important with. So down here, this is another stolen thing from Kylie Stewart. What a great interview, if you don't mind me saying to you guys, if you haven't watched it yet, please do watch it. This is basically Kylie's setup. And that's something important to note. She definitely inspired a lot of this use here. So this is the 2019 calendar. I now sort of have everything up to October. Key events like when I'm going to Amsterdam and when we move into a new house, when we move on, like birthdays, what I'm doing in the summer, holidays wise. And it's just a good way to see everything. So I have started to be, you may have seen next month. So anything that is after yesterday. So if I take this rule off and go to May when I started using it, I can start to see, like all the stuff that happened, which is really helpful. So I'm going to start to bring other calendars into this. For example, I might start bringing in calendars for work, calendars for stuff like that. But just to be clear, I'm not using this as my replacement to like a calendar application. It's pretty much the same thing. Like it's something that I'm still using a Moleskine calendar, and my aim is to keep that clean. So guys, a lot of my experiences, as I said, are now inside of the team experience in the Keep Productive area. But that was my setup. It has changed fairly dramatically since last time I showed you. It's about to probably get a bigger change because I'll have new areas like life in Ivy Bridge and stuff like that. Like I'll have areas where I need to like dig deeper. So that's really important to me, is to grow this over the next couple of weeks, but not to an extent where I'm just sort of building pages for the sake of them. I need to tidy up everything to sort. But hopefully that gave you a good idea, guys. Please do let me know in the comments whether this was of any help. I will try and do another 3-month one. Again, if you're looking to start Notion from scratch, please do take the course. If you're looking to build your skills, the course is still relevant too. We break everything down into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But guys, I appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoyed this video and you are not a regular here, hit subscribe to keep productive. And if you liked this video, you can find the like button below. And do check out all the other videos on the Notion playlist, because there's tons now. But guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Make sure to have a great week, keep productive, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Cheers, everyone.